All right, so there's a lot of news out there, some doom and gloom, some clickbait, some of it's accurate, some of it's not. And so I want to talk today about what's actually happening with Doctor Who. An announcement on the official DoctorWho.tv website that says today we're announcing an update on plans for the future of Doctor Who. Okay, the future of Doctor Who. So, as part of securing the next phase of the show for future generations and in line with the BBC's charter and agreement requirements, the BBC will put out Doctor Who to competitive tender this year. Doctor Who remains an important part of the BBC, and this tender underpins the BBC's continued commitment to Doctor Who, ensuring audiences will enjoy the show for years to come. So, you're going to be seeing the word cancel, cancel, canceled on a lot of thumbnails and articles and stuff. What they're referring to is the Christmas special. So we'll get to that in a second. So after careful consideration, the BBC, Russell T Davies, and Bad Wolf have collectively decided not to go ahead with the previously announced Doctor Who Christmas episode. This is a bummer. Okay, this is sad. But it's not the first time that we've had to go a little while without Doctor Who. Russell T Davies says on Instagram. And so goodbye from me to Doctor Who, but hello to a new future for the show, as the BBC announces it's putting the show out to tender. As a result, there won't be a Christmas special. We only cooked that up to guarantee a future when no one knew what would happen, but now we do know there's no need for it. You'll have to wait a bit longer for new Doctor Who, but you'll be waiting for more Doctor Who than a one-off. So it's worth it. Okay. And there's more that he says there, but that's what I want to highlight, because so the creative tender part of that basically means that they are putting this show out to production companies to bid on. So instead of doing it in-house like Doctor Who was done prior to the RTD2 era, they'll put it out to production companies to bid on. We're going to need to give them enough time to essentially start the production process from scratch again. Who knows what that timeline is going to be, but the point is, we're looking at a gap that, compared to the 16 years of the wilderness years, it is not a gap at all compared to that. So this is not a wilderness years. This is the BBC saying we're continuing the show. This is a great post on Reddit called The Tender Process, and I want to make sure you can see this, Doctor Who has a future. And it says, this is just some words on how the tender process is likely to work. And again, I don't know this person, but this is interesting. This is an active, formal, and publicly documented process that is starting this year, based on recent examples, and means we will very much not be in a 1990s wilderness, as we'll at least have some details of what's happening and when. Remember also that this process is to find the next Bad Wolf, not the next Disney Plus, though international partnerships could form part of applications, I believe. The link is to where details of the tender will be publicly available. We'll be able to see the BBC's detailed plan for continuing the show here later this year. The most equivalent shows have gone through this process recently are Casualty and the Doctor Who CBeebies show. They give a good example of the level of direction we can anticipate seeing from the BBC and the scope of ideas prospective production companies will be able to bring to the table. We may even get information on production/broadcast timeframes at the bid stage. Frankly, this is a time where if Doctor Who has ever showed up for you, you need to show up for Doctor Who. Whatever production companies, whatever streamers are out there, the rest of the world needs to see an active, passionate, supportive fan base in order to see that there is enough of an audience to invest in this show, that there is a vibrant fan base that is ready for Doctor Who and is starving for it and would pay for it and would support it enough that they want to throw their hats in the ring and produce Doctor Who. So it's really, it's not a cancellation. It's that the word drives clicks. It's just that there's no Christmas special this year, and that they're now going to need enough time to start up production from ground zero, from step one. Look, this channel started in the 2016 gap year, and so we've been posting weekly since then for a decade, whether rain or shine, whether Doctor Who's on the air or not. Because being a supportive fan of Doctor Who means showing up when the going gets tough, more than just showing up when it's easy and exciting. It means showing up every day for the show that showed up for us. It's as simple as that. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll stay safe, keep growing your knowledge collection and connection with other Doctor Who fans, and make room for the feelings, but also hang in there. This is far from being all over. The words of First Doctor. Albert the Adipose says hello, and we both hope to see you in the next video. Bye!